Welcome to our reality, everyone. I don't know why you're here, but I am glad you are because today we are going to be talking about more Survivor 49, episodes 3 and 4. It may feel like a month or two since we talked about Survivor last. It kind of feels like it to me. And if it's been about a month since you saw episode 3, then we get to have a nice recap for you, as well as episode 4, because we had two more tribal councils, but 3 people eliminated from the game. We had first the med evac of Jake with the sea crate bite, and then that same episode we saw Jeremiah go in the Kella tribe, leaving just Alex and Sophie remaining in this disaster of a tribe, which feels like an understatement at that point. And then, of course, going into episode 4, we had the tribe swap, 2 tribes of 7, an immunity challenge that left the new Hina tribe at tribal council with Matt not only leaving the game but leaving his luggage behind, which feels just beautifully ironic. A lot of stuff to get into in this stream. If you are here live, if you do happen to join us live for this discussion, please feel free to hop into the chat, ask away, leave your feelings, strong feelings, whatever you have about this season so far. Feel free to type away. And if you're watching after the fact, welcome as well. If you want to subscribe to the channel, like this video, that would help us out a ton. And also, if you're joining us for the very first time, my name is Barrett, and joining me as always is my esteemed Survivor colleagues, the Nick City and the Zack Perez, here to dish out everything that we possibly can about these 2 episodes. So, Nick, I'm going to come to you first. We've had 2 episodes, certainly, of Survivor 49. And getting a sense of both of your thoughts on the season so far before starting this podcast, Nick, I just want to know, how do you feel 4 episodes in? You've had 6 days to really sit on episode 4 now, even more so for episode 3. So now that you've had all this time to really think, Survivor 49, what's going on in your head?
Boring. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know what other word to describe this season. Like, even with the medevac on Keeley, I never know how the hell you say that tribe.
Blue.
It drives me crazy. The blue tribe. There we go. Ever since, we get rid of it's a medevac, right? So it's like somebody else being taken out of the game, not by them losing a challenge, and it's still on the blue tribe, and then they lose the challenge again. It's just like it's the same formula over and over again, as we've talked about on this podcast before. The disaster tribe, it's getting kind of old, and this is why I hate the 3 tribe seasons, because I feel like there's always that one tribe that is just not going to recover. And I don't know what they expected Jeremiah, Sophie, and Alex to really do in that kind of a situation. Like, there's only the 3 of them. Like, and Jake was like the strongest guy on their team, if not the cast. So it's like, for him to go out, and I really want to talk about the medevac because there's so much there that, like, I, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the medevac in general, but yeah, it's just like the same formula over and over and over again. I will say the thing I am appreciating is there's finally 2 tribes on Survivor for the first time in like 5 years, it feels like, which I think is the case because we were talking about that before this. But
Yeah,
that is
since
very, yeah, right.
since Winners at
Since
War.
right, okay, that's what I thought. Um,
One of
so
my
the
favorite
two,
seasons.
oh, my bad. Um, so I
Fire
am enjoying
tokens.
that. The 2 tribes. But
Okay. We're definitely going to expand on the Medivac in a second, so
yeah.
you will get your discourse there.
Okay, good.
So Zach, I'm going to come to you next. Pretty much same question. How are you feeling 4 episodes into Survivor 49? Are you disappointed that we couldn't book the sea crate for a special interview for this episode? Not to diminish the severity of a sea crate bite, by the way.
I mean, I said it on X. I'll say it here. Secret still did more moves than Mitch did last season. So, um, you know, we haven't had. I mean, the last medevac we had was like in Caleb. I think that was it. No, wait, no, never mind. Well, there was Bruce, and then
Caleb was a long time ago.
yeah, I was
We've
gonna say there
definitely
was
had
Bruce.
medevacs since then.
Was Bruce the last one, or was there another one? Because
I
there
don't
I
know.
think
was,
Bruce might have
How,
been the last one.
but
but
how, but how'd you feel?
Yeah, yeah. It was three tribes is like they exhausted to death. Like they did it in like what the theme era where it was like V versus V versus V or whatever, or A versus B versus C, like all that stuff. They did it constantly, and it was fine. Each one is different because each tribe had their own different themes, so it was consistent in that way. And then they mixed it up with two tribes and things like that, and it's like, okay, like two tribe, like three tribe, two tribe, three tribe, two, do that. Like, there's only been like a few cases of begonging and everything like that, so like, you know bigger tribe and bigger numbers, there can be more dynamics there and everything. And then do a two tribe and then make them three, things like that. It's just um I don't know what casting, I don't know if they're afraid of twos or something, if even numbers are just the worst. But it's just dull. Like especially the fact that a tribe gets decimated down to just two people. Like it's happened like four or five, or not just two people, but like the disaster tribe, it's happened to like four or five times already. Like, give me a break. I'm tired of seeing people just, this game is, and then Jeff's like, see, this is Survivor. This is or you're supposed to get pushed to your brink. You're supposed to be pushed to the edge of extinction. You're supposed to be
Right.
pushed. You're supposed to be pushed to your limits. This isn't easy. You're not in the AC. This isn't a sound stage. This is Survivor. And it's like, okay, like, is it though? I don't want people just starving and looking the worst ever. Like, I understand this is Survivor, but like, bring out like, I don't like the Flint thing. There's just so much stuff that I
Yeah.
have about,
So
like, it's just, yeah.
yeah, I was just gonna say the Flint thing. I feel like I get it. I opposite you, Zach. I do kind of want to see them starving because they are on Survivor, and like I don't want them to be just like handed stuff.
Well, like, I mean,
But
I don't
what
mean
I was
like,
gonna say, I don't.
go ahead.
What I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I think the Flint situation used to be very different because when a tribe would go to tribal council, they would leave with fire. That used to be the thing. I don't understand where we lost that because they're never gonna like make up that ground. I feel like once you have the fire, you could like do so many different things, but they don't have the fire. So how are they going to catch up to the tribes that do have the fire and they're able to make food and boil water and do all this stuff? But it's just like it doesn't. I don't like that. And it's like something so simple like that, like letting the losing tribe leave tribal with the fire. I feel like that could change so many different things because it would give them that boost in energy to maybe win a challenge. But it's like when you have them starving while the other tribe is cooking and eating and drinking and relaxing because they don't have to go to tribal, the other tribe is not going to be able to catch up.
Hmm.
No, it's a great point. It's like, how do you expect anybody to climb out of that if you're not like trying to even the playing field in some way coming out of a tribal council? It's just like, yeah, especially, and also mentally, I feel like physically it's also going to take a toll on you.
Right.
But if you're not allowing people to even have like the mental strength to be like, oh, maybe we could win this next challenge, it's like, okay, what are you going to expect except over and over again? These disaster tribes. And I totally forgot to skip ahead to our modern day our modern day graphic over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Because I did already recap it, I feel like. But you're right. It is so difficult to watch this group of people. And talking about the immunity challenge in episode 3, by the end of it, when Jeff is just like walking around the platform being like, oh, when it looks like Kala is gonna lose again. They know the writing on the wall. Oops. And everyone else is just silent. And of course, this is after the fact that they told them that Jake is not coming back to the game. It's just like, what did you expect them to do? And they're getting their shoes swept away by the tide after voting out Jeremiah. And which is like, and which made me wonder, like, is the shoe bandit ever even a thing in this show if the tide doesn't sweep away their shoes? Because then they were like, oh, well, I guess maybe we can somehow tie this together now, like a shoe. But all of your points are very valid. It's so interesting hearing y'all's point of view. Like I said, the first time that we talked about this season, where I do see a lot of things for the first time in a modern Survivor, because this is my first modern Survivor season. And then I see a lot of, RHAP content that kind of glazes over, that maybe we're a little bit formulaic with all of this, because that's all I hear from y'all and what I see online, especially. And that mixed in with like Dalton Ross saying like, season 39 was kind of the season where we're like, okay, we're just waiting for 40. And so far 49 kind of feels that way. At least from what I see with y'all and what I see from other people online that really love and care about the show, except for Colton. Colton really liked the 2 most recent episodes. So also we call it chat. It's just Colton today. So very well could be. But yeah, I can't wait to get into all of this. And the first thing, which we've already brought up a few times, is the medevac of Jake in episode 3. So just to recap a little bit, in case you forgot it, because it was last year that they premiered this episode. Jake was bitten by a sea crate on the beaches. It was a dry bite, so no venom was actually released.
I thought you said drive-by.
It was a drive-by. Yeah, a sea crate committed a drive-by on the beach to Jake. And so we get to watch this entire situation unfold from Jake, leaving the beach to being taken to the base camp with the medical building with the doctors. And then Jeff kind of rolls up on his vehicle and is like, I'm here now to narrate everything. And this is like a really interesting kind of like behind the scenes look at this entire situation. Of course, we see them kind of go through, like, we think it's a dry bite and there's no venom. We still have to monitor him. Obviously, we get him saying, like, I'm about to have a child. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy stuff to mix into this
pregnant,
episode. Yeah. Oh my God. And then of course we eventually see the doctor say, I wouldn't recommend. Of course, I don't feel comfortable sitting back into the game with everything going on. He ends up getting a flight out to Australia to get looked at too, I heard. So there's like a lot that went on with this because it was so rare, and they called it a lightning strike of an event, really, because there was nobody, in Fiji that they could really find that actually had seen someone get bitten by a sea crate before. It's just that rare. And so with that, I'm going to go to y'all now. Where does this medevac stand in kind of the Survivor lore? Because obviously I know of like Caleb. I know Beast Mode Cowboys medevac. I know about like Russell Swan, his scary situation. And so watching this, what did y'all think about this? And do you think this was actually evacuating Jake and taking him out of the game was appropriate here?
I mean,
ahead,
Nick,
Zach.
you go first.
Yeah, I mean,
oh no, Zach, you
yeah.
go first. I agree with
mean,
Nick.
yeah. I mean, I feel bad for him, and heart goes out to him and everything. Because as much as like, I feel like Nick will agree with this too. Like, I mean, I thought he was okay and everything like that, but I feel like no matter what, we don't want even players we don't like. I would much rather see them voted out than get pulled like this. Like it's everyone's like. I don't know if it's Barrett's dream or Nick's dream at that matter. It's everyone's dream to be on Survivor, and like it going this way, like it sucks. Do I agree with him? I mean, I could understand the doctor, like in case of like if the sea crate like diseases and stuff like that, you need to get antibiotics and stuff. In my head, I'm like, if it's a dry bite, I mean, I'm not a doctor, so surprise there. But if they would have given an option, I still would have stayed. But
I mean, he definitely would have too, for sure.
I mean, yeah, and I feel like the people there too were just moving so slow for the fact that he got bitten by a snake. Like it took on the episode, it looked like it took them like a while for even production to even get there. Like as far as like people on the spot, on like crew and stuff like that, and it's like, why are you not rushing? Like, come on, if he's about to, I thought like they were talking like, oh, he's gonna die. And
yeah, no, it's a good point. They're literally approaching the beach like, is he breathing? Or when he's taken on the boat, the doctor's like, is he breathing? Like they had no clue what was going on.
Well, yeah, because
which is insane to see in an episode too.
Well, did you hear? Because apparently they had lost communication with the boat that was transporting him there.
Oh
So
my
they
God.
had no updates whatsoever.
Oh, wait, that's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is wild, truly.
Wow. So it's like interesting, right? Because I think part of me, well, as Zach said, first of all, I didn't like Jake, honestly. He was not my favorite in any way, shape, or form. But I thought that this sucked seeing him go out like that. And like I've tried to like put myself in like other people's shoes all the time, and just like thinking about how I left my wife who is about to give birth to go on Survivor, and this
Congrats
is
on getting married.
how I wait, shut the hell up. You threw me off there for a second. Um, it like it made me sad for him, you know, and I'm like, I don't even like this man, but I have like empathy for like that, because it's like I would not want to go out like that. It's not my dream to be on Survivor because I feel like I would die. But um outside of that, you know, I do just like feel bad given the circumstances. When it comes to like them actually pulling him, I thought it was like interesting, right? Because I was like, okay, like I kind of get it, and then like I keep going back and forth on it. I feel like Kelly Wentworth's TikTok really helped shed a lot of light on this. Barrett, I don't know if you know who Kelly Wentworth
I
is.
know who that. I do not follow her on TikTok though, unfortunately.
Wentworth does not count.
Okay. Exactly,
That's
Zach.
why I know her.
Right, the best moment in Survivor history. But so she posted some TikTok about how on Cambodia, two people had like passed out during a challenge, and
Mhm.
after they passed out, like they gave them both an apple to kind of like help them get like blood sugar up or whatever the heck it was. And after that, they gave everybody else in the cast an apple as well to make up for it, because it was, you know, them trying to be equal. Like, hey, we gave these two people apples, so we're giving the rest of the cast apples now too.
Right.
So, Kelly was essentially saying he was hooked up to IVs, getting all of this like stuff pumped into him, which is of course going to then help him perform better in the game in general. So even if his snake bite wasn't venomous, he already like got all of those things that you get, and like what are they going to do, hook everyone up to an IV?
Yeah.
And when she put it into perspective like that, it made me kind of be like, okay, maybe that's what went into play here too. um but I feel like it also was like a caution thing too, because if he's like, no, like if I'm fine, I want to go back in the game, and then he dies on the
Right.
show, are
Yeah.
you kidding
That's the
me?
thing. Yeah. If it's a
Like,
0.1% chance of that even happening, it's just like, no, we're not putting it back out there.
right.
And plus, this is the first snake bite too, so I guess I can understand that.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that led into like the how much time it probably took for you know the boat to get there, for them to get him to medical. And you know, I'm sure if this happened again, they would absolutely be ready for it. You know, but since this was like in a lightning strike kind of event, it really caught him off guard. But yeah, I think if they realized that situation and said, "Oh my God, there is this man who is not only here as a storied individual, you know, here to compete for you know for his dad to see the last season of Survivor he's ever going to be able to see
We
because
got
of his
that
luck."
too.
And then
The,
he's also got a son that is on the way. If he had died because of a snake bite, the show would be over at that point. Like there would be
yeah,
no
we would have
more
no
Survivor.
50. Yeah.
And oh, I see Mary's in the chat now. These 4 episodes could have been an email. I would have probably been agape at the this part if it was in the email, but otherwise, I think I can kind of agree with you there, Mary.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really strange situation to watch unfold on an episode of television. And I was hearing, I can't remember who was saying this in one video, but there was like you know, watch parties happening, and apparently people were like, you know, going back and forth from like laughing at this to being like, oh, okay, so this is actually like, is he breathing? That's really what we're yelling. Because I mean, obviously everyone knows that Jake is alive and well right now.
Right.
But
He is. Oh, thank God.
Spoiler, he doesn't
But it's so
die.
even that was just crazy to hear, though. Do y'all think that Jake is kind of a shoe-in to have on a future season because of all of this now, or what do you see the future of Jake on Survivor? Do you think?
Yeah, Jeff.
100%.
If you may already know this. Jeff loves his. Not that he's a challenge beast or anything. Obviously, he lost every single challenge, but
He didn't win a single one.
yeah. Jeff is a shoe-in for Jake's pseudo archetype for a person for them to come back. Like, looks like a challenge beast. Is like a man one, and pretty much that's just Jeff's thing. So he's gonna come back.
Yeah,
Okay.
the typical alpha male, like I have a family background,
Yeah.
like very, very much the Jeff Probst favorite archetype, and I definitely think they'll bring him back if they brought back, was it Bruce that was medevaced in an earlier
Mhm.
season, and then they brought him back like 2 seasons
Season-
later.
Well, they
Yeah.
brought
He was
back
the
Russell and
only-
Caleb.
I don't think.
Also,
I don't. Was it 2 seasons?
They brought back, yeah, they did bring back Russell and Caleb as well. Yeah, you're right, Barrett. So
Well,
yeah,
Caleb
I
was-
definitely, yeah, but still,
even
changed
Russell
the
Swan,
game.
right? Even Russell Swan kind
Well,
of
I
feel
defined
like
himself
Russell's-
as the most like
Russell
tragic
Swan
player
flopped.
ever.
yeah. So no,
Caleb got the
I
same place that they eliminated the same place on the same day.
Same day.
So,
wow.
but go ahead, Nick.
No, I was just saying, like, he's definitely like a shoe-in for some returnee season, if not the only returnee on a season. Because like if they did it with Bruce, I feel like they would definitely do it with Jake, because Bruce was there like one episode, I feel like, and they brought him back as a sole returnee at that. So I think Jake will definitely be back, 100%.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you all laid it out. I don't think there's any reason they won't bring it back, especially because he was like the main character. It felt like up until his
Mhm.
his medical evacuation, which is on purpose, of course, but also because Kelly was the worst tribe. That you don't have much choice but to have, eyes on Jake.
If you look at what I really liked what they did on Survivor Philippines was on Russell Swan's season that he came back. They brought back it was the first 3-tribe format in a while, so this was rare back then. But they brought back 3 players, and each one of them were on a tribe, and each of the players were medically evacuated from their first season or their last season.
I
So they
totally
brought
forgot
back-
that was the twist.
Yeah, so they brought back what's his face?
Russell Swan.
Well, they brought back Russell Swan. They brought back Jonathan Penner, and then they brought back he who shall not be named, the other person too.
Yeah, 'cause
Um,
he's in jail,
yeah.
so we don't talk about him.
Yeah. He went face first into a fire on Australia.
Yeah.
He went face first into a fire.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's not funny.
He inhaled the smoke and he fell into the
My
second
visual of
season.
falling face first into a fire was probably not what
Yeah.
happened, but in my mind that was crazy.
But I thought that was a good twist. And I wish they could. I feel like bringing that back would be cool. Which it's also funny what Mary said. Oh, all 3 of them were men. And now that I think about it, has a woman ever? Well, no, there was B. Never mind.
It was Courtney in
Courtney,
One World too.
Yeah,
She broke her arm in the first challenge.
yeah.
Just
And B broke
ridiculous.
her or snapped her knee or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
But majority men have been medically evacuated.
All right,
Interesting
what a stat! I did like the point of like Nick was saying of like if we do give IV, if we do give all these fluids, if we do kind of return Jake to this normal state of being, and then put him back into the he suddenly has the biggest advantage of like anyone in the entire cast at that point. Imagine if he was just like suddenly amazing at puzzles and just also like even stronger of it. Like they somehow made him an even better Survivor player.
Doesn't an
He
IV
comes back on the boat and he's like, "I'm here, guys."
Yeah,
with,
like
a
the first
cable.
day.
That's like what I'm
Yeah.
picturing, like Superman just like rolling up.
What did they do to him?
Is it an IV? Isn't it just like water, or does it like?
Well, I mean, it's fluids, yeah, but even that is like
Fluids.
better than he's anybody
But
probably in the game.
they already get water.
Yeah, but
But
also like they're not just giving him water; they're giving him like any sort of electrolyte. They're pumping. Can't even imagine what they pumped him full of to try
Doesn't-
to.
right,
doesn't-
they probably gave him like so much different drugs and
I was
like
about to say he
whatever
was
at
like
that
out of
point.
it. It looks like when they were looking
Yeah,
at
like
him.
he was definitely like even like muscle relaxers, like all this stuff that they probably put into his body, even just like something like Tylenol was probably used. Like who the hell knows? Like you said, I'm not a doctor either, but I could imagine that they probably were just like dumping a whole bunch of stuff into him because like he might have been dying. Like they don't know. And then to just be like, ah, here you go back on the beach. It's kind of like, I don't know if that's like realistic.
No, they
Let alone he wouldn't
literally.
even just go onto they were going to throw him into a challenge essentially because they like found out at the dock like, oh, Jake's not coming back.
Yeah.
Like, so
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't think they would have. I think it
'Cause he
sounded
got,
like
like,
they,
bit
if
in the
he was going to
morning.
come back in, they were going to have to like monitor him for like 48 hours or something. So they would have
Mhm.
had to look at him for 2 days. He would have just had to sit there and be, they would have had to keep feeding him and giving him everything that he needed to stay a healthy human to make sure he wasn't going to go into shock or if anything, they didn't know what was going to happen at that point. So it makes perfect sense to me why they were just like, we can't just throw him back in right now. Can you imagine if they were just like, all right, dude, go back out there, have some fun. I know we just like made you pass out for an hour while we operated on you, but because you could hear Jeff be like, I know you probably don't know, but they've been working on you for like an hour, and which told me like, oh, they knocked him out. Like,
yeah, like he was under anesthesia and then they were going to be like, go back and play Survivor, buddy. Like,
And then they just go back into or they go to the beaches and stuff and are like, Jake's back in the game, but everyone, we have to put you on anesthesia and give you IVs.
everybody.
the whole cast.
I guess
Because like on the challenge,
this is a secret.
we're gonna have it bite each and every single one of you.
fingers crossed that it's a dry bite.
We don't know. This hasn't happened before, so.
Or whatever. Well, on the challenge, like this is during the final though. They do get people. There was one season where they gave people IVs, and some people or one person really chose not to do it because she was afraid of needles, Cara Maria. And I'm just like, well, you could just do that, but I guess also that other stuff too. I'm just like, oh, okay, I can understand that, but
I feel like on the challenge, they're not. They're allowed to eat whatever the hell they want too.
yeah,
They're not starving on an island.
They can
They
they
get-
can eat a bottle of tequila if they went to the
they
challenge.
they bring in
could.
they bring in like Applebee's and they're like, all right, we're gonna give everyone some food to make it even.
a whole meal.
Yeah. Anything else we want to say about Jake? We could probably spend the whole time talking about this. I'm assuming.
Nothing more about Jake. I just think it was really cool to see like the filming of all of it. In a way.
I just think it was really
Like,
cool that he
cool
got bit
to
by that snake.
Stop putting words in my mouth. I
Sorry.
thought it kind of like broke the fourth wall for me this episode.
Yeah.
Like it was very like, oh, it's not just a TV show, even though like, we don't think that, but it was very much like all those like people out there who are like, Survivor's fake, it's acting. Was it really? Because the man literally almost died and they had to like pull him into here because they thought, and like you clearly saw like the panic in like everybody like around them. I just thought that was like, I want to say cool because that makes it sound like, oh, I enjoyed that, but like I thought it was like
Surreal.
it was surreal. There you go. That's a good word to explain.
I think that's
Well,
one
no,
thing. No, go
I've
ahead.
seen that snake. Oh, I was gonna say the snake was on Bad Guys too, so it's a paid actor.
Oh god,
Right.
Yeah, Soros paid it off. It's a good point too, Nick. Like, I forgot that there's a moment in all of that where Alex has to go and look at the book and be like, "What is this snake?" Like, and then has to like act calm once he realizes that this snake is on the "please don't go near it" list of snakes. And then is like in his mind also again like 6 days of nothing in his body, one coconut, he said it sounded like on episode 4, and is saying like, or it has to think like, oh my God, Jake just got bit by a highly venomous snake and I can't freak out about it because then he's going to freak out about it. And also he's about to have a baby. Like you said, all these, like, I can't even imagine what that is like going through already
Yup.
being at like the point of mental turmoil. And then Jeremiah, I read, he was sleeping when all this happened and got woke up to this. And so you're imagine like waking up and having to adjust to like, oh, my tribe member might also be dying. I don't know. Just a wild sequence. That if we're gonna, you know, dog 49 for having like formulaic moments in the modern era, this definitely was not that moment. Not that we need moments
Yeah.
like this in order to be like, yay, Survivor. But it was really interesting to see what happens in this sort of situation, and that they were very unprepared for it. And I don't know. This will be really interesting to see how it if this how long this stays as the probably like penultimate almost horrible moment in Survivor history, even though I think Russell Swan's was a bit scarier to watch unfold to me
I
at
feel
least,
like
and Caleb's,
like
but
yeah, I was gonna say I feel like Caleb's like top tier, like because
not to compare
everyone.
tragedies or
Well,
almost
yeah,
tragedies.
yeah, but like everyone, well, everyone was there and everyone was passing out. Everyone was dehydrated and
Yeah.
everyone was like, no one knew what to do because first it's like freaking, well, at first it's Caleb and then it's Debbie and then it's oh my gosh, what's her name? Sydney, and Sydney's over here crying because she's so dehydrated. I'm just like, oh my god, but now Jake. He will be missed just by me, but you know,
Yeah, only
Not by
only
me.
yeah.
Okay,
I will. Well, I will also say I feel like that is. I would not. I would hate to be in a position not only because waking up from that, but also like just having Jeff Probst narrating what's happening to you, and it's like, bro, I could be like dying. Like, why are you here right now? Which I understand, he's a host and all this stuff, but like, if this was serious, like, and this was how I went out, I would hate this for me
Jeff
so
Probst to be
much.
narrating
Narrating
your
and
heart rate
passing,
lowering. Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
No, I texted Joel this yesterday, not to bring up the other show, but I just kept imagining like Julie Chen in this situation, like at the hospital, like on a BB Unlocked segment, just being like, here's what that looked like. Derek sending to a segment of Julie in the hospital room with like, I don't know, Christmas and her broken foot.
We go with Victoria to get her wisdom teeth removed.
Oh my god.
Talk about something I forget happened on a season of Big Brother.
Yeah,
That,
passing out in the bathroom.
yeah.
Where's Victoria?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got to move on. We spent a long time talking about that. So we saw Jeremiah go in episode 3. We talked about Kella if they did go to another tribal, what that would look like, and of course we did not have the equation of them not having Jake involved in this tribal council. So we went to tribal council after that horrible challenge where they found out that Jake was no longer in the game. Everybody finishes a puzzle yet again before all of them. Jason is the best puzzle puzzle maker, no, puzzle doer, puzzle
solver.
sure solver. There we go.
Hello?
Oh my god. Yeah, what do you do to a puzzle exactly? Who knows? And then we saw Jeremiah go at that tribal council, and in a vote where it was, you know, Sophie tried to choose with Jeremiah, like, do we try to get Alex not to use his idol? What do we do out of the situation? So do you think everything worked out really as it should have? I mean, obviously Alex using the idol was 100% what he should have done in that situation anyway. But was this tribal, anything surprise you in that tribal at all with the way it went down? Or did you enjoy I enjoyed Sophie personally and how she navigated all of that, and especially her little spy shack that we saw her set up to.
100%. That whole episode, I was so nervous for her, because I fully thought in my mind that like the guys alliance was gonna like
Mhm.
stay strong, and that like Sophie was gonna go if Jake hadn't gotten like medevaced and they lost again. So now when it was just Sophie, Alex, and Jeremiah, I was like, well, the two guys are just gonna vote her out. So I was like really hoping that she was gonna be able to like figure something out, and like it worked. I was so happy that she stayed. Um Jeremiah, I was not that big of a fan. I'm not that big of a fan of him or Alex, honestly. So like, I didn't care which of the two of them went, but I really was nervous as hell for Sophie that entire episode. But I loved her little spy shack thing as well, Barrett. I just thought she was so like crafty and fun that episode, and I'm so glad that she survived it and is now on a swap and in a better spot. So very happy with how it worked out.
Yeah, what did you think of Jeremiah's elimination in that subsequent vote, Zach?
I mean, wasn't really much he could have done
Not really.
unless he tried to. The only thing he really could have done is if getting Alex to go Sophie and be like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the play would have been, Sophie's only clinging to you because Jake left. If Jake was still here, she would vote you out in a heartbeat and all this stuff. I mean, that's what I would have said. And just be like, I'm here. I'm the one that wants to work with you and all this stuff. She's only working with you out of coincidence. But yeah.
I mean, even reading Jeremiah's exit interview, it kind of just told the story of how straightforward it really was compared to how the episode maybe made it seem.
Mm-hmm.
Where Jeremiah was like, well, yeah, of course, Sophie and I were going to just say each other's names because we had no choice. And so it really was just kind of Alex's decision up to that point, which, I mean, Jeremiah also said, I didn't have a relationship with Alex at all up until that point. It was very much like we both work in communications and we both have similar ways of trying to game people, it seemed like. And so us working together was really, it never seemed like it was going to work out. And so it didn't seem like he was shocked, and he didn't feel like playing his shot in the dark was even going to be effective for him anyway, just based on the slight hope that it might go the other way for him.
Then why would you just do that then?
I think his reasoning was that he was just thought there was more of a chance of Alex wanting to, or Sophie wanting to go after Alex and him not playing his idol. But then you're right though. I mean, if you're trying to just stay in the game, does it benefit you at all? Because if he does it though, he doesn't even have a vote, right? Or if he doesn't hit.
Yeah, he doesn't have a vote, but in like, okay, because I always forget about the shot in the dark, because it's like, especially in 47, because in 47 we saw it where like it was like final 11 or something like that, and people wanted to get rice, and then they put they're able to do like trades or something like that, like or negotiation type thing. And then Jeff was like, well, I'll give you some more rice, but y'all have to give me something or something like that. And then someone put up, well, we can all give you our shot in the dark and we can have more rice. And everyone decided to give him their shot in the dark, so no one had it, and they got more rice. And so like it was a non-factor for the rest of the season. But I always forget about it. And like, okay, now this is even more interesting, because it's like, if his interview is saying it was basically forthright, like what was going to happen, all this stuff, then yeah, you should do it. And if not you, then Sophie may do it too. Okay, This is kind of dumb now.
I need to find his exit interview again to read exactly what he said, but I'm pretty sure that's what he was hinting at.
I hate the shot in the dark. It's just so like.
Remind me again, because full stop. Everybody, if you're new here, I don't watch a lot of Survivor. This is again my first modern season. So if Jeremiah had played the shot in the dark, in that vote, and let's say it doesn't hit, it's just Alex and Sophie's votes, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, Sophie and Alex both eliminated Jeremiah, so he's gone anyway. If he had played it and it hit, no vote for him would have counted, which means that
they would revote.
They would just revote with him, correct?
No.
It's just Alex and Sophie voting? What are the rules? I need to know.
So it would be, well, no, because it'd be Alex and
it's only two people voting then,
and they can only vote for each other because they can't vote for themselves. So then it would go to
Zack.
I think Sophie.
No, because
Sophie is the only one, because Alex has the idol.
But did he play it? I genuinely don't.
I have
Yeah.
Jeremiah's explanation if this might help.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
So the question was, were you surprised when Sophie did not go through with the plan to put both of your votes on Alex? And this was his full answer. She had asked me a question. I guess I can just also share this so we can all read together. The answer was, she had asked me a question before we went to go and vote, and she said, "What did you and Alex talk about?" And at that moment, I'm like, okay, I think you flipped. And then I started to weigh the pros and the cons, but I just didn't know where Alex's mind was. So I was thinking, if Sophie flipped, then she'd be a vote for me. And then I'm voting for Alex, and Alex is voting for Sophie. There was that triangle. And then I was thinking, if I play my shot in the dark and there's a tie between Alex and Sophie, I don't vote and I don't get to revote, so I'm going home. So I needed to keep my shot in the dark. I never spoke strategy one-on-one with Alex because he was so with Annie and Nicole and Jake, and I spoke strategy a lot with Jake and Sophie. Okay.
Okay, so he thought it would be 1-1-1.
Yeah.
Is what he's saying.
Then just be one. Well, okay. So, but
That makes more sense to me, because then if he doesn't have the vote, and then it's just like if it doesn't hit, and he doesn't have a vote regardless, and then it's 1-1 between Sophie
But then-
and Alex.
I feel like because it's 1 in 6, right?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I would go for that rather than if he already knew she flipped.
Yeah,
Then-
if he's putting in that same answer, like, I knew Sophie flipped, but I'm also not going to use my shot. If he knew Sophie flipped, he should use his shot in the dark at that point, right?
I feel like he's trying to make it seem like it's what's it called? You're spinning your own narrative to make it seem like you did what you needed to do in a sense.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely, he's just like, yeah, I should have done that. Like, and just trying to spin it in a different way then.
Yeah,
But-
in any case, you said the shot in the dark statistically would not have worked anyway. If anything, we might have just had a slightly more exciting tribal than what we got.
I mean, it's a 1 in 6 chance. So anything can happen.
I guess, but you said it's only happened, what, 3 times?
Yeah.
It would have been cool, but
Yeah. But then Sophie would have automatically gone home because then he
That's
would
the
have been
thing.
eligible.
That's from like I don't want him to play. Like, yeah, maybe it
Yeah.
might have been the smarter thing, but that doesn't mean I wanted him to do it.
Mhm.
Like,
And then say if Alex doesn't use the idol, then he can't use it during a revote. So it would be Sage and Alex only voting, but they're only going to vote for each other. So then it's going to, would it be rocks or fire making?
it's just 2 people. Have they ever drawn rocks with just 2 people? before?
yeah.
No, because when it's just 2 people, it only happened once, and it would be fire.
This is like why Survivor needs to cut the crap. Like, if we have
Yeah.
to sit here and do a math equation to figure out who goes home, you lose the purpose of the show, which is to vote people out. And if
Yeah.
you can't do that because people are popping stuff up out of nowhere all the damn time, what the hell is going on here? Like, this is what makes me like so annoyed with the show. Like, I don't want to
be
sit here
fair-
and have to like run a whole. We literally need a whiteboard to figure out who would go home. For what?
Yeah, I feel like there's also been that discussion for like, if your tribe members find the map to the idol after the Beware advantage themselves, can they actually go and take your idol from you? In Rizzo's case, where you
Oh,
have
yes.
everyone else kind of digging for the map and finding it and then being like, here's the map, Rizzo. Could they potentially? Apparently not. Apparently they cannot just go take someone's idol from them with the Beware advantage. I feel like they
can't?
should be able to do that though.
They
I
can't?
agree.
Who said that?
Apparently Jeff Probst has kind of, it's not, okay, here's the thing. It has not been fully stated like anywhere in the fine print that they cannot do this, but apparently Jeff Probst has hinted that they cannot do that, while everyone else is kind of like, they should be able to do that though.
What the
Like-
fuck is this is treasure hunt now? Like,
That's the thing. You should have an avenue to where you can steal an idol like that
Yeah.
from somebody else. If you're all going to work together, what is the point then? If you can't just
'Cause
like
wasn't-
backstab
Wasn't
somebody.
Sophie gonna do that on the Blue Tribe?
she
When
was saying
she found the key first, right? And she was gonna try to.
That's
sneak
the
over
thing. They've
there.
been
no, she
hinting
found
at
the
doing
box
it.
first.
Oh, the
Was it
box, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can't steal it from them, then what's the point of even keeping them from finding it in the first place? Are you just hoping that
Right.
they'll get eliminated before they ever get the chance to like search the woods again? You think the show is just gonna let that happen? Probably
I
not.
feel
You're just
well,
gonna
yeah.
cause distractions over and over again to be like, oh,
I guess it also makes sense. Well, it because that's the whole point of that's the dumb thing about the beware advantage. Because if Rizzo can't find it, and if someone else finds it before him, what, he's just not gonna have a vote ever?
that's the thing. Yeah, it's all how it's so tied
That
to your
makes
vote too
sense.
makes me
Yeah.
doesn't allow
I
someone to just
hate,
steal it.
yeah, I really hate the whole like tying things to people's vote because to me in Survivor, your vote is like all you really have. Like if you don't have a vote, I feel like you're kind of just a sitting duck. So the fact that it's a constant thing, whether they're going on a journey and they have to risk their vote or they find an advantage but they can't use it or they don't have a vote until they jump through 20 other hoops. It's just so like obnoxious to me how they are so like we're just going to take the most powerful or the only thing you really have in the game away from you other than your voice or your word, and you just have to figure it out. Like I don't like that. Like to me the vote is so important for people to have because then you end up in
Something
situations like we're doing right now where, oh, if I take away my vote and then I get immunity and then like it's just like, why is all of this a thing? Like it's
Yeah.
too much.
something I will say though is that, which I'm very surprised at this season, is that there haven't been that many idols or advantages. Like there's only we haven't even seen one tribe like before. They didn't even, no one really found anything, did they? On the yellow tribe previously?
No.
And
MC.
Oh,
which you,
MC did. You're right.
MC
But
found the MC found it only wanted to tell Steven about
oh
it.
yeah,
yes.
and they never lost. So
That was another thing that I think was clarified. Like she still has the ability
mhm.
to find it. She just has to wait. And so I'm assuming at the beginning of whatever episode is finally going to be the one where MC goes to a tribal is going to start with that just reminder of like, oh yeah, MC found this. Y'all remember that?
But MC's on the blue tribe now.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna do it for that one instead.
They probably just switch it over, yeah. I'm sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess. I see. Like that's why I don't like that. Because to me, that's always been like how Survivor is too, where it's like the blue tribe idol is gone. So like, you know, they have to do things like that now, where it's like, oh well, MC lost her vote, so we have to move the idol from yellow to blue, even though it should be on the yellow tribe, but because MC's over here, it's like,
And you'll never
what
get all that
is
explained to you.
I know. Like that's so obnoxious because it used to not be like that. It was so much more simple where it was just like the yellow tribe had one, the red tribe had one, and the blue tribe had one. The blue tribes was gone. So if you swap over to blue, well, guess what? You're out of luck. Like I don't like that it's become this.
I feel like it's
That's
better
my
than
like
the
main
bird.
critique.
It's better than the bird cage though.
I erased that from my memory, actually, because that's how
So
stupid I thought that was.
so on one season, I want to say it was 44. Um, there, the way that the idol worked is that there was this bird cage hidden near camp, and it had the idol inside of it, and you had to find a key for the bird cage to get the idol. And it was in a little pouch thing, so you really didn't know what was inside. And then it was like the beware advantage, so everything like that. And inside the pouch, there was an identical pouch that was hidden there, and you can put the identical one in there and rehide the key, and it's basically a fake.
Okay.
And yeah, it's very confusing. And everyone found out, like, because they're seeing this every single day. So if it's even slightly different, people are going to notice. And basically, one time someone didn't even put it on the thing right. They had to shut it really quickly. And another time, like, people noticed that it was in a different position and all this stuff. So everyone knew that the idol was taken.
All right, I've never heard of this. But even it's just you explaining that exhausted me to the point where I'm like, what are we
Exactly.
playing?
What is
Um,
happening?
yeah, it reminds me of the other show where it's just like here's a we put secret envelopes and one of them will give you a trip back into the house, but we won't tell you which one, but we will have a live show where we'll open up each envelope and tell you that you didn't get back into the game. But also
One-way trip.
there's a activity. Wait, no, no, wait. I'm trying to think. In 23, what season had all of the verses? Was that 24? The scary verse, the multiverse,
That was
25.
25.
had the scary verse, the silly verse, the prank verse. I don't remember what else. It was so dumb.
The comic verse, the
Yeah.
Humiliverse,
Humiliverse.
Yeah,
the
that's what I
scary
think of when
verse.
you tell me about the birdcage with the fake idol. But people can tell it's fake when you replace it with the fake one. And
Well, in 41, it was even worse, where you have to you find an idol clue, the Beware Advantage, and you have to, whenever you go to the immunity challenge, you have to somehow say a catchphrase, and you have to say it, and that you get other people's catchphrases, and if once you find out
What?
everyone else, once all the
I
catchphrases are
forgot
all
about
said
this too.
at the immunity challenge, then everyone has an idol. But until
Yeah.
then, you don't have it.
catchphrases is how they
Yeah,
worded
so
it.
like
Yeah.
yes. So Barrett, how it works is like you're on it, we're all three of us are on different tribes. You found it, I found it, and Zach had it. So if I found it first before you guys and I went to I went to the immunity challenge and my thing is like I love orange cats, like I have to say that out loud
And
and
then
I
I
have
would,
to see if Zach would say his or you would
yeah,
say yours.
and
And if
mine would
no
be
one
like,
did, I know no one found the thing over there.
yeah,
But
and mine would be like, oh, like it's crazy, like, sometimes like I see butterflies and they remind me of dead relatives or something like that.
yes, and that's like literally how crazy the catchphrases were. And you would literally hear people like they would have to say it multiple times because if I went to a thing and I thought I found this, the other people must have had it. I love orange cats, guys, and no one's saying anything. What happens the next time we go to a challenge? Now I'm like, guys, I love orange cats again. Like, just wanted to say it. It's just
Yeah.
so stupid. I forgot that they did that. Oh my god. And then you know
they
who has
did,
the idols too on each tribe. 'Cause you're like, oh well, we're the three catchphrases. There they are. It's what's the point? It's not hidden. Like
Yeah, I really applaud like trying new things, like or just trying to change your game, but I feel like there's so much better ways than just like having people yell stuff at the challenge to get catchphrase. I don't know. I feel like there's certain things that just don't mesh with Survivor as well, and I feel like they should know better at that point. If it was season 41, you said was that the start of the modern era? Was
yeah,
catchphrases?
yeah.
Okay.
yeah, and then it was, I feel like a goat on AstroTurf. Uh,
Like
Okay.
who is casually saying that multiple times?
Nobody, which is why they thought it would probably be fun.
It was
but
dumb.
they did it on 41, and they did it on freaking 42 automatically, because why not?
Yeah, that was a fan favorite twist.
It was,
Yeah, that sounds exhausting, and it sounds even more exhausting for like two in a row to be like that.
oh my gosh,
Um,
I'm reading some of them right now.
yeah, Colton
It's a
said, "Was I barked at the mailman?" Actually, one of them.
uh it's another classic case of the bunny rabbit having dinner in the mailbox.
What
Uh
the hell is going on? Like who is
there's
saying that?
there's such grace in the game of soccer. It works, or
It's ridiculous.
it works in Cry. Potatoes have skin. I have skin. Like, I am a potato.
Insane.
Imagine
Okay, so
calling
the
yourself
fact
a
that you could say
potato
that
multiple
multiple
times.
times, Jinx.
Wow.
Nick can't talk for the rest of the show. Anyway, wait, no, I just said your name. You're back. Okay, we need to move on to episode 4. We're about in an hour and we've only
Yeah.
talked about
Oh, that's what
catchphrases
it
in
is.
episode 3.
There's such grace in the game of soccer. It makes me cry. That's what it is.
Some
Yeah.
people just really love soccer and need to bring it up at every challenge. I don't know.
Sure.
Okay. Episode 4. we start off by finding out that the entire remaining like items of all of Kella's tribe just got swept into the ocean overnight. But in this episode, we finally see our tribe swap. We go from 3 tribes to two tribes of 7. We have new Hina, new Kella, blue and yellow. And there's 7 people in each. But the structure of each tribe is pretty much the same. You have an overwhelming number of Uli on one, an overwhelming number of Hina, original Hina on the other. 4, 2, and 1, if you really want to break it down like that, from each of the 3 tribes. So you're basically just waiting on the sitting ducks of Hina and one tribe, the original Hina, I should say, and then the 2 from Uli on the other side of things. So like we said, first time 2 tribes of 7 since Winners at War. And honestly, immediately this was refreshing to finally just not have to watch Kelly do their thing anymore. So happy that is done. And we get to see Alex and Sophie go on their respective tribes. What do we want to dig into first? I guess I do want to know, y'all kind of talked about 2 tribes of 7, how nice this is, but what do you think is what do you wish this season had started with instead of these 3 tribes of wait, what did we start with? 3 tribes of 6. What is your preferred start for a Survivor season? If you told me this last or 2 weeks ago, however long ago we talked about the first 2 episodes, correct me, but what was y'all's ideal start compared to where we're at now?
Well, 2 tribes.
Yeah.
I don't remember. So what, we start with 9,
18.
18, yeah, I would have wanted 2 tribes of 9.
Okay.
I feel like that would have been perfect. I think 2 tribes of 10 is the best format of Survivor,
Yeah.
because I like when there's bigger tribes, because like there's more room for people to hide in. There's more different dynamics, as Zach was saying earlier too. Like there's just so many like different things that can happen on big tribes. Whereas on smaller tribes, on 6-person tribes, it's like, okay, we're gonna be a trio and we're gonna pull this person in and the other people are on the outs. It's literally the exact same thing every single time. So I like 2 tribes so much more, especially with these dynamics, because it's different. Like I like that the yellow has majority of the red, and then the blue has majority of the yellow. So it's interesting because now you have on the yellow tribe, the yellow OGs are in the minority and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
the cringe Hina tribe chanting their
Yeah,
way up to the up to challenges.
so stupid.
Another great Sophie moment was her vote at the end of the episode with
Oh,
the
so
Hina
good.
chant.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
well, I did
yes.
okay. To expand on that a little bit, is when we do have like a merge at some point or a swap, is it typically end up in this scenario of like you have just like 1 or 2 sitting ducks from another tribe that are severely in the minority now, or what is the typical makeup kind of look like that?
It just
Yes, on paper, in my
yeah.
opinion.
On paper it does seem that way, but I feel like, besides the last season, like, and there this comes back into play sometimes, but like largely I feel like the game has evolved from tribal lines. They say it,
Hmm.
it's becoming a staple now, like tribal lines are no more and all this stuff. It's like
Yeah,
we're
Jeff can say that all he wants.
we may have
Yeah.
merged, but there's still tribal lines and all this stuff. And it's like I feel like most of the time people are playing for their best interest. And that's what I like about like a 2 tribe format, is that I would prefer that too. The only way that I like 3 tribes if there is some reason a theme or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
mind 3 every now and again, but like if you're going to keep on doing it, then make it a theme. Like something, I don't know. But I just feel like the game has evolved so much since then. And then like whenever if you think merging with only 2 tribes, no, it's going to be even more interesting, because especially nowadays, people I feel like people are so passive aggressive more so now, especially in the game of Survivor, and they're wanting out of being forced to work with people, and then wanting to, like, they meet brand new people, they want to start working with them instead. So like seems so much more open, I feel like. if you have that. So it's just, especially whenever you're swapping people and stuff and you start out with two tribes, it's just so much more dynamic and all this stuff. And I'm just,
Okay, I like what
Yeah.
you said. Yeah, I think if you're gonna make three smaller tribes, at least forming like a theme around the dynamics in those tribes would make it more interesting than watching just the same disaster tribe over and over again at random. Um, well, I had a point that I was gonna make here. Oh, yeah, it just felt like, and I'm kind of disappointed that you said that, Zach. That it really it comes down to like what's in people's best interest. Like I do wish this episode kind of would have been more like that, because otherwise it just felt like we were awaiting are we going to get rid of either Shannon or Sage, or are we going to get rid of Matt or Jason? And it seemed like nobody really wanted to waver, even if the episode wanted to make us think that maybe they would waver in some sense. So I'm kind of disappointed by that. That you would say that people do, like to think in their own best interest, but in this episode we saw that it was very clear from get-go what was going to happen by the end of this episode, or once we saw the swap itself.
I also feel like Matt didn't help his case either. So
No, and that's what I think I want to talk about now, because we have the swap, we had the challenge. Matt kind of fumbled trying to cross the platform in his own part of the challenge. We saw MC be the hero yet again in another challenge. Also, I'm just gonna say this immunity challenge in episode 4, where they're like at the end of it, just climbing on top of each other to stack the Michelle Fitzgerald towers that they put up. That's a reference that I feel like should be noted, by the way. Come on, Christina kicked it down like her. Anyway,
okay.
I like Christina too.
That's the only part of it.
I was thinking though, like if I was in this challenge and I lost somehow, I think I would be voted out immediately, because if I was not used to like stack things up or like help people stack things up really high up in the air, then I don't think I have any use to anybody at that point. So it was a real make or break. I kind of like was with Matt on this one, just like if you mess up in this one, you're done. But going to Matt on the island itself, yeah, his whole or Savannah using like her investigative journalism on him, getting him to talk about his previous job, being in finance, and then going over to be like, people who say that the people who have those jobs are sociopaths.
I mean,
Was really fun to watch. But it's just like, why? It feels like Matt has fumbled in every episode we've seen him in some regard. So just what did y'all think of Matt here? Being open about his job, or not seemingly just never connecting with Hina the way that Hina loved to connect with themselves. And then of course on that swap, just seemingly being done from the start, and then forming this we got to get Nate out strategy.
Yeah, why? I don't know. The whole like we need to get Nate out strategy was so weird to me, because if I'm Matt, right, I'm like, okay, I need to get closer with Jason. And then why would you go after the guy who has 3 other people from his original tribe mates there? Go after Sophie. Like, I don't think that was the smart move of him at all. Or even try to go and push Jason under the bus a little bit, because it's kind of self-preservation mode at that point. Going for Nate was just like, oh, you really have a bad read on what's going on. I see.
like at least go for Jawan if you're.
Jawan would have been appealing to, I think, a lot of people on
Yeah.
that
I
tribe.
agree. Right. It just goes so like, you were talking about before, Barrett, when like people come into the like, is there always like the 2 people who are just like sitting ducks or whatever, right? I feel like there's always a crack somewhere that you can find, right? And so it's like Matt, if he would have just realized, oh, maybe they don't like Joanne as much or something like that, he could have pushed for that, and that could have been the crack that, got them going. But going for Nate was just such a bad like read on his part that it really did not help him at all.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that like he saw Nate as the out, like the person on the outs of that 4. He saw Nate as the leader of the 4, and that's why he wanted to go after him, which is like, okay, when you're already, on the outs as far as you are, like it is a Hail Mary of sorts, but I feel like this is not a case where you needed that Hail Mary necessarily when you have Jason, like you said, to go against. And then you also have Jawan with just like probably a couple of conversations with Uli members. He could have figured out that they were not big fans of
Yeah.
Jawan, or that maybe they were even going to go after him if they went to a tribal. And then yeah, like Zach said, go after Sophie. It's just like, what are you talking about? Like going after Nate just seems like the biggest pull that was always going to backfire on him. Um, and so, yeah, that mixed in with Savannah, just kind of putting the nail in his coffin there, seemingly. Also, I did want to talk about Savannah because I've been very impressed with her. And I think watching her in this swap was kind of like also a bit more eye opening for her case as well, because she went after Matt, she got him to say his job, but she also had that conversation with Jason that we saw, um, where Jason was like, obviously, like, I love Hina, big Hina fan. I love all those people, but if I got to go against him, I guess that's fine. And she's like, a little bit weird that he would say he was a big fan of Hina still. So like with both people that they're considering, Savannah seemingly had a role to play in the episode at least, which makes me think, what are we going to see from Savannah in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Also, just like Zach, I gotta say, Savannah, Sage, Sophie, Stan. The alliteration is off the charts, but I do need an S to go soon. Like, if we have
Yeah.
this Shannon Sage tribal in the upcoming episode, which I feel like
Oh
we
my
will,
God.
based on their sneak peeks, then we'll get we'll have one less S in the mix. But what do y'all think of Savannah? Not only in this game, but just her seemingly having the main character energy for this past couple of episodes. How do you feel about the Atlanta Reporter?
I love her. I think she's my
Yeah.
favorite on the cast, if I'm being honest with you. And I
She's
have
great.
somebody who I'm
She
friends with on the cast, so I'm like, I'm really into her. I think that she is like a really good social player, and she's super strategic, of course. But I also just really like her confessionals, the way she narrates the game. I feel like a lot of that comes from her like being a reporter, of course, but like she's just so like I want to hear more. Like I'm like interested in whatever it is that she has to say all the time. And I think she's ruling her red tribe with an iron fist, and they might not even realize it. But I really, really like Savannah. She's my
y-
fave.
yeah, I really like her too. Like quite it's I feel like Nick does this too. Like it's hard watching the Survivor episodes without thinking Edgic wise and thinking of that, of like trying to pick the winner.
Yeah.
And I honest unless she gets a bad episode or something soon, or there's some bad moves made, I honestly think that she is the winner. Like pin it, put a note in it, Colton, write it down. This is where I'm putting my hat in. The Savannah is winning this season, because
Hmm.
if you're looking at it, and she hasn't done anything wrong as far as like from like the viewpoint of what we're seeing and what is presented to us. She has she's in a good position regardless. No one is saying her name. No one has anything really bad to say about her. Even the people who, like Matt for instance, who like was trying to like do something obviously wrong takes and everything like that, but she is positioned very well. And like Nick was saying, like
Hmm.
she is ruling her tribe and no one knows it, because even going into this, people are it's default of, oh well, what does Savannah want to do, or
Right.
it's like if you can get people to think that and not of what I want to do, like that is major upside. And she's just I think she has it on lock. As long as I don't even think if people compare notes, because she isn't. I feel like she's very. It seems like she's very like honest about her game and stuff, and honest about what she wants to do. Like from what people see, because she's a good liar, I think, and everyone kind of already knows what she's going to do. And like, say her red tribe talks with each other or anything like that, like everyone's going to know like already because she's already told them, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I think even like I think one of probably my favorite moment of episode 4 is when she pulls I want to say it was Jawan and Nate, or it was I can't remember who else it was. It had to be Jawan and Nate. over to the water well and is like, I didn't actually want to get water. We need to dig for the idol. And she just like immediately gets on the ground and starts like, it just starts like rapidly pulling up
That was
sand. And I
so
was like,
good.
that is so,
Yeah.
that was awesome. And I think you're right. I think especially if she's being painted so far in the episodes as being this, leader of the Uli Four without necessarily being like told by other people that she is the leader of this kind of core four. I think that will go a long way because that core four is definitely the strongest in the entire cast so far, just in terms of who makes up that four and what kind of players that they are, and how seemingly good they are at the game from what we've seen. Yeah, I think she's got a great case. And then we've already seen, like, if there is going to be anyone going from that core four, it probably will be Jawan. I say Jawan's in a core four. He's not really, but he is in the original Uli. Um, it probably would be Jawan, or it might be Nate. So I think she's even going to be safe out of those, just because she is able to
Yeah.
somehow paint this, not as big of a target as it should be on her back right now. Yeah, really, really ready to see what Savannah can do. Okay, what else do we have to talk about? Oh, I had Sophie's like little fruit moment here.
Oh yeah.
From that second immunity challenge. They were competing for a giant arrangement of fruit, and Sophie was not cool with that. Sophie was like, "That's diet food. I want something. I want more." And then Jeff was like, "Okay, whatever." So, what do y'all think about Sophie complaining about fruit? Do you think fruit is a good reward in a challenge, or what?
Yes and no. Like, I don't know. It depends. Because, like, as a germaphobe, I feel like I wouldn't. I'm not really a germaphobe, but I feel like I would be kind of grossed out by some of the fruits sometimes. And this is Survivor in general. I feel like a lot of the times they give them the food, and I'm like, girl, there's flies all over that shit. Like, I'd be throwing up. Like, I don't want that. Like, So. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not starving on the island that I don't see the appeal to the food sometimes. But I don't know. Like, if you're gonna give me a fruit, give me a banana, so at least I could like peel it back and like eat the inside. If you give me an apple that's been in the sand, I don't want that. Like, that's gross.
Zach,
Especially
how
like
do you feel about the fruit?
it's it'd be different if it was like the second immunity challenge or something. The second one, like I feel like it's like, the first three are like not as good. Like, you have the first one's usually what, like supply like a pot, a machete, and like well, flint obviously, but and all that stuff. And then the second one's usually like, oh, fishing gear, you can go fishing, and a
Right.
tarp. And then the next one's like, I don't know, luxury, like maybe some chairs and some spices, or like and like some type of food, like some fish you can cook or something like that. And then the fourth one is whenever it gets like even more like better, like it's like, ooh, sandwiches, or like carbs or something like that, because they're on the brink already at that point. And like it's just fruits, like that's it. Like it's basically most like it's mainly just hydration or something like that. Like isn't fruit isn't a lot of carbs, right?
No, it's just the thing. It's like not a lot of calories. It's just yeah, water
Yeah.
is a good element of fruit that you can
Yeah.
get.
And it's just like, what? Yeah, I wouldn't be as out like that, but like it's just the whole making it 20. I don't know why they're stuck on the 26. I guess it's better turnaround or something like that, and money. But like, go back to 39-day seasons. Go back to that, and then like if it was a fourth round and then 39-day season, they'd be getting like Chinese food, or peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and chips, all the fixins, things like that, and bring back, because I understand. I've heard people like, well, the reason why they don't get so much because they're trying to make it harder and all this stuff, because New Era is way harder. I'm like, why do we have to make it harder? Like, this is the same game where someone lost like 50 pounds in 39 days. Like, come on, like you're saying that that's not hard. Like I don't bring back old Survivor, like where they get decent rewards and stuff. Bring back reward challenges. I don't mind reward challenges. They're fun. Like if they're competing for something good, but it's like Jeff is so up on his high horse and doesn't want to be wrong about things, and it's just pathetic. Like it's
Yeah.
honestly pathetic. And not only that, on top of like, oh, you don't get flints and all this stuff, like what we were talking about earlier, it's like why are we still doing this? Why?
Hmm.
I swear I'm a fan of the show, but like they just need to go back. I'm not saying go back to basics, like just no idols and just voting. Like they just need to go back to a regular type of season where there's just like an idol at every new camp or something like that they have, or maybe like a steal a vote here or there or something like that. And
Right.
but they just
They need
won't
to
be.
they need to dial it back. That's the thing. I feel like they were like, oh, they like it when we add twists, and here's more and more and more and more, and we're like, whoa, we didn't ask for all of that. And now it's like gotten to a point where we can have reward challenges because they have to go on a journey because this person lost their vote and this person needs to go find that idol over there or else they can't vote for 5 rounds, and then this person needs to go over there and do this thing. It's like they're so focused on adding all of this stuff that it's like losing a lot of elements to the original format and stuff like that that we actually appreciated. And it sucks too because we even have hour and a half episodes now. When you think about it, we used to only get 45 minutes a week, and they would give us reward and immunity challenges and all of this other stuff in 45 minutes.
And camp life. You would think
Yeah.
you would think because I guess we'll talk about this now because it's the first 4 episodes. The most exciting thing to happen is someone getting bit by a snake. That's bad. Like that is
Yeah.
bad in itself.
The thing that you
But
didn't plan for is the thing
the
that
thing that
people
you
are talking
didn't
about.
exactly, and the game, these past few episodes have been so boring. So boring. I thought last season was boring, but at least I had Camilla and Kyle like at least scheming in the background. This is very boring as far as gameplay, which I don't fault the players or anything like that, but we don't get that much strategic talk because we have to fill it with the challenges and all this stuff, and like, oh, they dig deep, you're gonna go hard and all this stuff, and like it's been boring, and like I don't want there to be like a split vote every single round and everything like that, but it's like it doesn't help that the editing has just been like, it's not bad. This is not bad. Like it could be way worse.
Yeah, it could be. I'm
Uh,
enjoying. I will say, sorry, not sorry about it.
You're fine.
The thing about this season is that I appreciate a lot of people that are still in the game, and that is what's
Hmm.
keeping me invested. That's what's keeping me like, okay, this isn't as bad. This isn't reminding me of last season where I hated like 90% of the cast. This time I'm actually like, okay, like we have Savannah that we're rooting for. We
Yeah.
have Riz God. We got MC. We got the Sophies. Like there's so many people that I'm like, okay, like I'm invested because I like these people. And that's the difference between this season for me and like last season or like the bad seasons, is that like it might be boring, but at least I'm not like hate watching it where I'm watching it every week and I'm like, I can't stand these people. Like that's not my like take on this season.
Yeah, I do think this cast, I really like the dynamics that they have in each of their tribes, even though I'm not a fan of everybody, of course, but the people that I am a fan of, I am like I will stick it through to see like where they end
Right.
up. I
Yeah.
do care. Um and it's funny that you even mentioned Rizzo. I almost said Rizgot again, like that's naturally. So he only says that Rizgod Rizgod baby. Like why spell it if
Yeah.
you're then gonna say it?
That
But
is
it's also like that's okay. He's entertaining.
no, that is another thing too. I'm like, I am not dyslexic. Please stop spelling it out. Okay. I understand you go by Rizgod. I understand that is your name. Please stop spelling it out. That is the only like as cringe as I may think the name Rizgod is, I don't care. I'm more annoyed at the fact that he's spelling it every single time. Like you could call yourself Rizgod.
I
like you're
need him to call himself Riz God in front of someone accidentally. Like I
yeah.
need it to happen. Seriously, it would be the best episode if he for some reason accidentally referred to himself as the Riz God, and then that caught on and I know it'll be Savannah that somehow brings it out of him.
100%. Yeah.
Or if he gets to final tribal council and he's like, and that's what he says. It's like, y'all have been playing, have thought you've been playing with Rizzo. Well, guess what? Y'all been playing with Rizgod, Rizgod. And that's the needle drop or something. That's his like, oh, I'm a lawyer or all this stuff. And and
It's
then
Riz God.
but mind you, if he spelled it out and all that stuff, I would probably not vote for him. I would probably vote for the other person.
When you go to Castroville, make sure that you write down Rizgod, Riz God, baby. Also, like if I wasn't eating or drinking enough water, I would be tired of saying that myself in a confessional at that point in the game.
100%.
But at that point, you committed. So, a couple other things I wanted to talk about though, before we wrapped up. I do feel like we get a lot of Shannon foreshadowing, and looking at the sneak peeks for next week, it seems like we have. I'm just going to go ahead and guess that it's going to be a Shannon versus Sage argument for this next episode, which doesn't sound very exciting, because that's exactly what we're expecting to happen. But I do want to go ahead and mention it because I've seen that, and I saw a sneak peek with Jawan apparently takes Savannah's water bottle accidentally. So that gets brought up again. We got Baggate and now we got Bottlegate. So we get to look forward to that.
Savannah.
We didn't even mention that Rizzo has an idol. He did eventually find that idol. That's important to know.
Yeah. And the people helped him.
Yes, everyone helped him. I talked about Savannah digging, but they did eventually get the map. Rizzo goes and finds the idol. But I feel like there's been some talk about like Shannon and her strategy and her, just Shannon herself. But like, I did want to know your thoughts on Shannon, because like if I was on a tribe with Shannon, I would probably go insane if someone said, let's wake up to go pray to the ocean, that is now like, whose soul is now possessed by Jake, I think, weirdly, through the sea crate bite. It's a whole theory that I'm working on. Once I flesh it out, I'll let you know. But what do y'all think of Shannon and just where she fits in all of this? And you can talk about whatever you want.
Okay, I'm not a fan.
Okay, not a fan.
No, I'm not a fan in. I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna really like her, like I normally really like the whole like hippie vibe and like I'm one with the earth type of person, but I feel like that's like not even who she even really is. And
not anymore.
with that same not even like getting there yet, but even with that statement, right? Then now she's on this tribe with like using the religion thing with Christina and stuff like that. I don't like it. It's like leaves like an icky feeling with me because I feel like that's not who she is, and I feel like she's just trying to like play it up like, oh, I'm religious too, and like it doesn't like. She comes off very unauthentic. Like I don't know who she is. I feel like she tries to put on this persona that she's like this like hippie woo like, and it's not like, I feel like that and religious are two different things. And I'm not saying you can't be both, but like it just doesn't match up that like she was so like oh, peace, love, harmony, and now it's like religion. I don't know. It's like weird. I hate when people get like very religious on the games, whether it's this or other shows that we may or may not talk about. It just leaves like a weird feeling for me because like I don't know why you have to like include that, and it comes off as like Shannon trying to manipulate Christina with the religion, and like that's I guess what I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't care if you talk about your faith on the show. I hate using it as like a weapon to try and gain somebody as an ally. Like that's weird to me.
Yeah, it's very strange. Zach, I'll let you speak on this. It's like when you brought up Christina, that moment itself felt very
right.
It felt very. Not only did it feel like out of place for Christina as like an established character so far in the show, which like I think this would have been great. I wish they would have done this like minus Shannon being involved with this conversation. Like it just felt like it overshadowed everything. Um, like this really great story from Christina. And so I have trouble with that too. Obviously, like if you're going to use religion in a game like this to further your strategy, I think there are ways that you can ethically and unethically do it. And ways that you don't do it ethically is using it with someone that also has that religion for the purposes of like mourning a lost loved one. Like that is the perfect example of how you don't use that in the game.
Yeah.
Where you have like people that may swear on the Bible, you may swear on a cross. Like I feel like you do
Right.
those things and be like, but even those people sometimes are like, I'm not doing it for that purpose though. And that's where I
Yeah.
also have trouble with, like, own it at the very least if you are using it for those reasons. And then I feel like we can work in the gray area after the fact, you know, of like what is truly ethical or not, or moral or not in a game for $1 million or $750,000, or anything like that. So that's what I was saying. And I need to know if y'all seem to have more info on Shannon than I do. But Zach, go ahead and speak on Shannon.
No, I was just like, I mean, this made me love Sage even
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
whenever
I
she
really like
clocked it.
Sage.
And I'm just
Sage
like,
and Steven, really. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm just like, Sage clocked it right on the head. I cannot stand, like, I do not mind if you're religious. I do not mind that or anything. Like, you can practice whatever you want. But it seems so performative, like, because it was.
Yeah, that's what Sage said. I think specifically performative.
Well, yeah, it's very performative, and I agree with what Sage said too. Sage was like, I don't care. I don't, she didn't care if anyone's religious or anything like that or your religion, but it seemed like a performance, and that's what it seemed like to me as well. Obviously, that's what was presented to us and everything, but it gets on the borderline of icky, especially like going back to the Jesus sponsored season, Survivor South Pacific. That whole season, if you want to think about Bible, Christian, if you have a Christian friend, that's the season that you need to watch, is Survivor South Pacific. Someone on there, like, they had a literal cult on the season, and there was someone in that season who, yeah, they did everything that they did, but they didn't really believe that way, but she was calling out all the unethical things that were happening in confessionals and stuff, and it just was icky. And even whenever it got to the jury phase, people were like, you're using this as strategy, and that's icky. And that's what I feel about it. Like, Shannon, like, whenever you're doing this and everything, especially whenever I think about how she is now, and it really wasn't what she thought much, and it seemed like it really was just, she was just using it, and it's just, I just don't like it.
Yeah. And to give more context, Barrett, Shannon posted a TikTok saying that she was getting rid of all of her like hippie stuff, and it was like literally like all of her stuff, and she's like, I'm throwing it all away. This was like, a chapter of my life, and I'm not into it anymore. And you know why? Because I found this. And she holds up the Bible, and so it's
no way.
Yeah. So it's very like weird, because I'm like, it makes me feel even more like I don't know who the hell you even are, because your whole shtick on the show has been how you're a hippie and this, that, whatever, and you're throwing it all away for the Bible, but yet you're both on the show. Like, I don't understand, like,
because wasn't she the one that
know.
Didn't she use Chat GPT, or she created an AI god?
Yeah, she trained an AI bot with the like mind of Jesus, how he would morally play Survivor. Yeah, but there was another, I don't even, honestly don't care. That means about as much to me as, Mickey saying she looked up how to play Big Brother in ChatGPT. It's the same thing. I mean, she just used an AI to tell her how to play Survivor.
Yeah. I don't know, the TikTok was so weird to me because I saw it at first and I didn't even recognize that it was Shannon at first, and then like I went and I saw the TikTok again. I was like, wait, that's Shannon from Survivor. Like I thought it was just like some random girl on my like For You page. And then it like clicked after and I was like, wait, that was Shannon from Survivor. And it just, I don't know, very like disrespectful to me too to like come on TikTok and be like, I'm throwing this all away. Because it's like, that's like,
Yeah,
what?
it's also like your eternal like I don't know, your view on religion and just eternal and grace and mother nature was a phase for you. So, like
Right.
what?
Like, I don't
I thought pretty sure that's like a
understand.
life. You don't just get to like hop around to I'm into this god now. um and next year it might be this one. I don't know. I'm just this is the phase of my life that I'm in right now. Like such bullshit. And like already with
Depends
Shannon,
on what
like
our
I already
path
I
on.
yeah, like I already got vibes from Shannon from the moment she was on the show. As like I always put it in my like if I was in anybody else on that tribe, she was how would I feel about this person. With Shannon, I was like she reminds me of people that I don't mess with. Like she seemed smart and she seemed very manipulative in the game of Survivor, and I didn't
Yes.
like that. And it was nice to see like Sage and Stephen Clocken. It's so funny. I paused. I had to pause the episode at some point, and it was happened to be during while Sage was talking about Shannon, and I came back to resume it. But this is what I had paused. Wait, no, never mind. That's not what I paused it on. It's the next one over. That's what I paused it on. It was Sage's face talking about Shannon. And I thought it was very, very perfect. Also, this is how Shannon makes me feel. But this is I thought this was great. And anyway, yeah, I also like Sage. If we're specifically gonna come down to a vote of Sage versus Shannon, I hope and pray to whatever God Shannon believes in that they vote her out instead of Sage.
Today.
Yeah, whoever Shannon thinks is right today, in this moment, I hope they. Yeah, that was honestly my last point I wanted to bring up because I'd heard a lot of talk about Shannon, and I also had my
Yeah.
feelings about Shannon with this. And if we get Shannon out, it's one less S we have to worry about to talk about in the future.
Whenever I was making this, I was
I'm here
putting
for
it in
it.
alpha. I was looking at it and I was trying to put it in an alphabetical ish order. And then, like, I was just like, M, Matt's the first letter. Okay. And then I was like, oh, half the cast is still here. Oh my gosh, there's so many S's. All the S's. It's just, wow.
Yeah, I was looking at my notes, and at one point I wrote Sage is like I've lost any friend I've ever had, and then Sage worries about Savannah to Shannon, and then in parentheses I just put what a fucking sentence. Just 'cause, like Sage worries about Savannah to Shannon. Like how is anyone supposed to come out of that okay?
Tongue
Um,
twister.
I'm so surprised to the two Sophies. I like whenever I put Sophie in my thing, I was like, wait, is she with an just an I or IE? And I had to go and check, and I'm just like, I'm surprised the two Sophies. No one's talked about both of them. It's like, oh yeah, there are two Sophies or
well,
something like that.
Sophie with an E we practically never see. The only time we really saw her was her
Yeah.
complaining about the fruit. It seemed like.
Yeah,
Um, and then yeah, I also not to overlook the fact that I had to type out Sage told everyone that she lost every friend that she's ever had. What a sad sentence to tell people. But also to talk about Sage a little bit more. Her Blackhead collection was also
oh my
mentioned.
gosh.
Oh my god.
No, don't need to like discuss the Blackhead collection on the podcast, but I just wanted to acknowledge to everyone that that did happen. And honestly, I would work with Sage for that alone. I especially for like Sage or Shannon, probably the girl who keeps the blackheads over the girl who's like, everyone love my God that I love today. Everyone pray to the ocean. Everyone wake up with me and let's go talk to the ocean.
Oh my gosh.
I know y'all are probably tired in every sense of the word, but if the ocean's calling.
If I get woken up for that, I'd be even more annoyed because I'd fall asleep
Yeah.
while I'm doing it. I'm like, you can go do that, but I'm not.
Mm. Are we hoping for Shannon for tribal tomorrow?
100%.
I mean, because yeah, I feel like if Sage, it's funny that it's going to be Sage versus Shannon because we're both on the starting tribe, and I feel like,
But that's the smart move, like
I mean,
that's what
yeah,
Matt and Jason, like that's where Matt screwed up because he was trying to go for Nate. It's like Sage and Shannon, I feel like they kind of see the writing on the wall where it's like, and they don't even like each other. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's even better for
why?
them to
Right.
for everybody else, I guess, in that tribe. I don't see a play being made. Obviously, if we do have New Kelle losing the immunity challenge tomorrow, we'll see MC get the map
Right.
for her idol. So that could be interesting. We'll see if she gets any help with that. Like we saw RIZGOD, Rizgod Baby getting everybody else to help him find his idol. So yeah, I don't think anything else. Well, we also have Alex that's on New Kelle. Who knows if anybody wants to look at him now that they know he just played an idol. Do they know he just played an idol? I guess they don't know that he just played an idol.
yeah. I guess they don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Alex, someone we didn't really talk about, I guess, this episode that much, but someone I still see as a snake and untrustworthy if I was ever on a tribe with him. So the fact that he is now the only person from that original Kelly tribe on this new one.
I thought you were about to say the fact that his closest alliance got bitten by a snake.
Yeah, his bromance got taken out by the sea crate. The bromance that never was.
No, something else. Whenever they said sea crate, I was like, wait, what's that? I'm like, what is there, like a box in the sea? And then because I've never heard a snake call a crate. And
I
was
keep
like,
thinking of the sea bear from the SpongeBob episode. They had to draw the circle around to keep it from coming to them.
Oh, that's funny.
Is there anything else that we should be talking about, or anybody that we should be talking about that we really haven't given any time to? I know there's still a lot of people left in the game. We can't give enough time to everybody. Oh, I did one thing I did pull up. Y'all are talking about losing votes and these advantages and stuff, and I remember that there was an Entertainment Weekly, or Dalton Ross posted another thing where I guess everyone preseason wrote down like their hot takes for the season,
oh yeah,
or their Survivor hot takes in general. And Steven had said contestants should not be forced to risk their vote. It should always be a choice.
Yes.
Period. Steven.
King.
A good hot take.
Some of them I didn't really understand. I don't know what
Russell
he's talking about.
Amazing. Oh
Yeah.
no.
That's definitely Russell Hance.
Wait, yeah. Can we go through these really quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get your friend Nick.
What was it?
Alex says margarita curse is fake news. What does that mean?
If anyone gets the a
Yeah.
margarita at the auction, they don't win the game.
Oh, gotcha. Sage says there's no such thing as an honest game.
I agree. I feel
Yeah,
like everyone
that's true.
lies in Survivor, and those that don't they get voted out.
Stop.
Juwan says
Stop it,
knowledge is
Juwan.
power
Get outta
is pretty
here.
awesome. Okay.
Oh,
Stupid.
do you know about knowledge is power, Barrett?
No.
So
I didn't know if that was just like a random, like just in general, you know?
Oh,
Just
like
the
knowledge.
saying.
Knowledge is
Oh
power.
my god.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it in your head
That's
now.
right. Barrett
Oh,
doesn't know these things.
yeah. So knowledge is power. It was an advantage that was brought to us in 41, where you're able to, at tribal council, you have to ask someone directly, do you have an advantage or do you have an idol? And you have to ask them during tribal, and if they don't have one, if they have one currently, then you get that advantage. You automatically get it. But if they don't have it, if they don't have it on them right now, or if they handed it off to someone, then you don't get it. And it's never worked. Like since then, people have given their idols to other people, so they asked, but they don't get anything.
If it's never worked, why is Juwan such a big fan of it? That's my question.
I don't know. Because everyone tells everyone, so it's like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Queen.
Sophie,
Sophie
whoever
with a
wins
correct
deserves it.
take.
Sure. Chris Underwood deserved the win, says Matt. Recently eliminated Matt.
You know who Chris Underwood is, right?
I've heard the name. I could not disappointed on the
So-
lineup
I don't know
though.
if I agree or disagree with this take.
He
I'm not
got
gonna lie.
he was like the third eliminated on his season, and they have this thing called the edge of extinction where people who get voted out, they go to there and it's
Yes.
10 times worse. And like
Oh, okay. I think I do. He came back and won.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, after being
at the
eliminated for
end
most of the
at
game.
the end
Mhm.
of the game. Because
Yeah. He came back at final 6.
Yeah, you get to either return at the merge or final 6, and he didn't come back in the merge and came back at final 6 and won the whole game.
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't agree with Matt's take that at all. That's like say, I don't know. Anybody who gets eliminated and then comes back and wins a game, I don't know how you respect it at all, to be honest. Even I feel like Edge of Extinction means a lot more than getting eliminated in other games and coming back through a twist. But still, I mean, you got eliminated. It's really hard to overlook that unless you just absolutely hate the people that you're up against in the finals.
Sophie's preaching to me what I was saying earlier.
Exactly.
Stop handicapping losing tribes by taking their flint. Agreed. Jeremiah said,
No.
bring back the loved one visit.
Depends.
That's the
Corny.
hot take.
I don't know, cat and her cousin. Cousin.
MC, who has been watching Survivor for 6 months at that point, says new era is greater than old era. Shocker.
Anyway,
I
not
really,
the other way.
I really like MC though. I don't know if I said that enough. MC is
Me too.
doing a little too well at everything.
Eh.
Jake said Sam should have won.
Should
Season 47.
Should have
Yeah. Should have, not should have. You know, it's
that's
Canadian.
why
It's
he
the Canadian
did.
way to say it.
That's why Sam didn't win, because he should have.
Nicole
Yeah.
said, "There's no such thing as a player that should have won. It's all about jury management."
Exactly.
I feel like that's
It
Eh,
go
depends.
either way on that one.
Yeah.
Nate says immunity idols equals death in the game. Interesting from Nate.
Stupid take.
That's why he'll gladly help Rizzo find them. Shannon said a little rice would be nice. Is that a hot take?
Yeah, because they don't get rice anymore.
Okay. It was
They
just
don't
because
at
it was
all?
Shannon, I was being mean.
No.
I thought they got some.
I don't think so. I've never seen them eat rice this season.
Christina said, bring back the super idol. How do we feel about the super idol?
No.
The 2
Do you know what
idol.
that is?
No, I don't. When was the
So-
last time they used the super idol?
It's never actually been used.
Oh, it's an idea. It's a theory.
No,
Still
well,
no,
it's been in the game, but no one's ever
Yeah.
used it.
because
Oh,
the last time it was brought in, it was if you find immunity idol, it's 1/2 of one, or it's a whole one, or if you find the idol's brother or twin or whatever, then it can be combined to make a super idol, which can be played after the votes are read.
I got you.
So-
Okay.
And then on Tony's season, it was just a super idol in itself, where it was automatically you can play it after the votes are read. But Tony didn't play it, and then the time where you have to combine 2, it didn't get played because the other person who had the half didn't want to give it to the person that got eliminated, because he would have been eliminated instead if he gave him the super idol.
Who had the half? Who had the half of my super idol? Was it you? Was it you, Joseph? I don't know if I agree.
There are
with
so many
Christina's
twists that
piece
I
of paper here. Then
There's so many twists that I don't even realize that you don't even know about.
everything probably. Rizzo said the best player does not always win. I feel like that's been here already. Savannah said showman cast more people likely to get into showman. What is this take from Savannah? The showman's take.
What are you doing?
Love is the only way to
Nasty.
beat logic and smarties. Okay.
I'm
That
here
is
for it.
that okay. I will say that is a hot take. That's a pretty good
That
one if we
is,
had to
but I
have
kinda
one.
like it.
Jason said idols equal overrated, advantages equal super duper overrated.
It said underrated.
Underrated. Okay. Wait. How are idols overrated but advantage is underrated?
What? What are these takes, dude?
They're hot takes, which I mean, if they do make you go like, I guess that served their purpose, but also
okay,
like,
you're right. I just feel like it doesn't make sense. Like, in what worlds are idols overrated and advantages underrated? Like, what?
Like, are you telling me that being able to steal a reward is way better than an actual idol? Like,
Right, you're stealing the idol. Like,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know what to tell you here. Yeah, it's interesting reading all of these because I don't think
They
I
all have
necessarily
things,
agree,
that's for
especially with the
sure.
people that I like in the game right now.
Wait, what did Annie say? Oh, Russell.
Yeah,
Russell is awesome or something like that.
Russell is
Russell is
amazing.
amazing. That's
No
such
clarification on which
crazy-
one, but I feel like she just means
Hands.
yeah.
Definitely means hands.
Okay.
You can go ask her, Barrett.
Oh, that reminds me. We had some Sandra Diaz Twine slander. It seemed
Oh,
like in
yeah.
episode 4 also,
Did.
and was
That's
also
what
brought
he
up in
gets.
Tribal.
That's what he gets for going home. Oh wait,
Yeah.
that's what he. No, wait. He should have. He went home because he said that.
Jeff was like, it worked twice.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I was like, period, because I feel like Jeff isn't even that big of a fan of Sandra, but I was like, all right, Jeff, stand up for our girl.
Anyone who gets as popular as Jeff Probst means that Jeff Probst doesn't like them as much. That's my that's what I would write on a piece of paper before going on Survivor.
If you're
My
Jeff's
take
favorite,
would be,
if you're
Jeff
Jeff's
Probst
favorite,
does not know what the fans want. That would be my hot take.
Jeff
If you're
Probst's
Jeff's-
favorite season is anyone that he gets to have a power trip on.
if you're Jeff's favorite, you're playing the game wrong.
Yeah. God. Survivor colonized Fiji is what I would write, probably, if anything.
God.
But that's a conversation some people don't want to have. Are we done?
I guess so.
We're 25 minutes over what I guessed we would be done. So that is part of my reason for saying that. But I'm willing to talk about anything else. All right. We're done. Going once, going twice. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Everyone, first of all, thank you so much for being here for this entire time. If you were here the entire time, if you clicked around, that's okay too. I was wondering when Islands of the Stream was going to kick in there. We'll be back. I think Tuesdays are now what we're going to do again. Not to like throw y'all for a loop every time we're like, what day are we going to be talking about anything? But we all have lives, and it seems like Tuesday is the best like middle ground for all of our lives. Even if it means coming back the day before a Survivor episode. But now that we've done 2 episodes for a Survivor podcast, I'm like, we have to finish the season at this point, whether or not we keep doing it on Tuesdays or whatever time that we set aside to come cover 2 more episodes of Survivor is how we're going to do it. So thank you all for being here again. We're going to talk about Amazing Race at some point. It might be like half of the season is done by the time we do get to the Amazing Race again. But I promise you, we haven't missed much so far in the other 2 episodes of Amazing Race. But come back if you want to talk more Amazing Race, and sometimes not talking about Amazing Race at all if you just want to hang out. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Nick, Zach, thank you for educating me yet again on Survivor. I hope this will continue on and on. And yeah, we'll be here when we'll be here. Check back next Tuesday. I imagine we'll do something. If it's a Tuesday afternoon, just check this channel and see if there's like an event scheduled, and then we'll be here. Or join our Discord. All the links in the description below. All those things. Keep up with us however you want to if you want to talk about any show in the meantime. All right. Bye, everybody. Zach, say that thing that you always say.
Oh. Watch out for secrets. No. Survivor is... Wait, what? Survivor is
It's been like a week and a half. It's okay.
perception is reality. Our reality.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Mary. Bye, Colton.